Omari Hardwick and Loretta Devine, they shine big time in the movie Spell. I highly recommend you check out this movie. It is very, 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 very good. The whole premise of the movie Spell is Omari Hardwick, him and his family, they travel to a small town in Kentucky to go pay their respects to his father, who recently had passed. But on the way there, they get it caught into a plane crash, and from there, he is I don't know if kidnaps is the proper word, but what happens is that he is being taken care of by Loretta Devine's character, who reminds me of Kathy Bates' character in the movie Misery. The whole pretty much with this movie, if Misery and the Skeleton Key, if they got together and had a baby, it's gonna be called Spell. All right, and this movie here, it keeps you. It has a lot of moments where it keeps you guessing. You're like, man, how is he gonna get out of this situation? You know, how is he going to get out of this? How is he going to do that? You know, and the thing about it is like, you know, in a lot of, especially scary movies and horror movies, you come across a lot of situations where it's like, I wouldn't do that. There's no way in hell I would do that. Why is he doing that? Why is she doing that? Why don't they just do this? How about they just get it? And it's almost to the point where it's like, they make the protagonist so dumb in certain movies to the point where it makes it seem like the antagonist is so scary and horrifying. But no, that's just the dumb protagonist, right? In this movie, it's not like that. Like the whole chemistry, the whole vibe with Loretta Devine and Omari Hardwick, how they bounce back out off each other with their acting and stuff, with their lines and their dialogue. Hey man, it's a brilliant sight to see. Brilliant sight to see. I really enjoyed that chemistry. Also, shout out to the actor John Beasley. John Beasley, he plays the character named Earl, who is Loretta Devine's husband in the film. All right, their chemistry is, man, their chemistry is so good, man. It is amazing. But with this movie here, you know, it certain parts of it, you know, here's what bothers me in these kind of movies. I don't like it when anyone mess with somebody's family, or try to keep someone trying to search for their family. That irritates me deeply, because I'm a family person. You're a family person. You know, we all have somebody that we care about. If you don't have somebody you care about, you got a pet that you care about, something that you care about. And it's like, you know what? If it get lost or if somebody's trying to keep you from it, guess what? You want to do everything you can to get to it. Well, Omari Hardwick, his character, he was really and genuinely doing it. He was about that action in this movie. And that's what I was so impressed of. You know, it kind of reminded me of Aaron Stafford's character in The Hills Have Eyes, where it's like initially upon seeing his character, you know, it doesn't seem like as if, you know, he didn't come across as someone who can probably what's the word I'm looking for, who could do what it takes in order to save his family, you know. And in the movie The Hills Have Eyes, the version that came out in 2006, he showed and he proved that he could. You know, he stepped up big time to the point where the audience is like, there you go. Oh, I would do that. All right. You know, and Omari Hardwick character was the same way in this movie. You know, I'm not saying I doubted him a lot in here, but the thing about it is the actions that he took in this movie to try to get his family when he was held hostage by Loretta Devine's character. Yeah, I can dig that. It was very, very real. It had a lot of realness to it, a lot of seriousness to it, okay? And that's one thing I love. So that's what makes a lot of good horror movies real good, is that you see a certain level of seriousness to it, to where it's like, you know what? Maybe that could happen in real life. And if it did happen to me, I would probably do what he do or what she does, okay? But yeah, Loretta, man, she was turning people into, she was making voodoo dolls of people and stuff, and I'm like, oh boy, that's the Skeleton Key element. That's what I'm talking about. But this movie here, man, like I say, the chemistry was awesome. The whole movie, it had some moment. It had about 3 or 4 moments where it's like, okay, it gave me literally gave me chills, because I'm concerned and thinking like, man, is he going to get his family? You know, is this going to be the movie where the protagonist does not get and reunite with his family? I'm not going to tell you whether or not he does, but because that will spoil the movie for you. But man, this movie here, you know, you see, like in the beginning of it, you know, you see certain elements of Omari Hardwick's character and it reminds you of James St. Patrick in Power, okay, the character that he plays. And you know what? And I'm like, wow, I could see this literally being James St. Patrick. I wish he had Tommy with him to have his back, because then I'm pretty sure they would have no problem getting his family back if he had Tommy with him, right? Or Kanan or something. But you know, here's the thing, like in each act, like of this movie, there's 3 acts. Each act, Omari Hardwick, he switches up his acting style on this, you know, and I love it. I mean, it's not consistent as far as the style, but it is consistent as it being effective. You could tell he understood the assignment. Like, so the first act is pretty much, it seems like he is a parent who, what the old school people say, he spares the rod. All right. And because, you know, he was whipped a lot, not spanked. He was whipped a lot. Like, he has lashes still on his arm and shoulders and stuff they showed. But he didn't want to be like that with his kids and stuff. And his wife kind of questions that, you know. And, you know, it didn't seem like he was more of a, he came off as being kind of like a non-caring parent. But then in the second act, after realizing that his family is missing, he's getting in that parent mode, okay? The sense of urgency to want to locate his family, all right? And then it's like also he has that sense of not knowing what he's dealing with as far as with Loretta Devine's character, because this was the first time he had met her, waking up in the twin-size bed in her, what is that? That's in the attic. The attic is up top, basement down low. Okay, there we go. But man, like, and then by the time you get to the third act, you know, he's more heroic, you know, and it's like, okay, you know, it's like it's like it all comes together for his character. You know, he's like, okay, well, it's time for me to save my family, and I need to do what I have to do. All right. You know, I'm going to die trying doing it. All right. And that's worth that. Your family is well worth that. But and Loretta Devine, like I say, man, she can be the sweetest. She can play the sweetest woman in the world, and she can play the meanest woman in the world. And in this movie, she was the meanest woman in the universe to me, man. And I'm like, man, like Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface, Candyman. Hey, I'd rather deal with them than Loretta Devine's character in this movie, because she was so, she was just so evil, man. But I really liked this movie. I really did. I really enjoyed this movie. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8. It was a very good movie. You know, and especially in this time of age, it's hard to make good horror films, because a lot of things, you know, people have become so numb to because they watch the news and stuff. But something like this, I don't think anybody can ever become numb to this. You know, so I highly recommend you check this movie out. Spell, once again, it's starring Omari Hardwick, Loretta Devine, and John Beasley. Check the movie out, and I tell you what, if you've seen the movie Spell, share your share your thoughts down below and let me know whether or not if you like the movie or if you dislike the movie. And also, hey man, hit that like. Also, hey man or woman, boy or girl, hit that like and subscribe button. Student of the Game Podcast. Peace out.